Hey, MaryLiz and Ryan. It's your friend Matt Kaplan of the Planetary Society's Planetary Radio. Belated congratulations on this premiere episode of Consider the Cosmos. You bring to it the same passion, beauty, and joy, that old PB&J that our boss, the science guy, loves to talk about. You bring those to this, just as you bring it to everything else that you do. It is so very, very clear your love for all of this. And you can hear it in the people that you talk to on the first episode as well. So I envy what you've achieved, but I welcome you to the podcast universe. It's big enough for all of us, and hope you have a great time doing this. Can't wait for the next episode or to see what Cosmic Perspective will be up to next. Ad Astra.
All the books I've written, I mean, the Hitchhiker books, the two Dirk Gently books, what I've constantly been at, sort of worrying away at, is trying to find the ways of looking at the ordinary, the everyday, all the assumptions we make about the way the world works from some other angle. So you suddenly see it in a fresh light, because then suddenly the world looks very, very strange and extraordinary when you see it from an angle you're not expecting to see it from.
That was Douglas Adams, author of the 5-part trilogy.
Quinn trilogy, I think.
The 5-part trilogy, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which, as you know, is my favorite book series.
All right, everybody, I can confirm that is her favorite book series.
In the known universe.
In the entire universe, regardless of known or not known.
Just as I was feeling the need for a little humor in my life, Amy Thompson, my dear friend, made me aware that Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy you're not going to believe this, just turned 42.
But what does it mean?
Well, we'll get to that. I felt inspired to put this special episode together as a way to celebrate. And I owe a huge thank you to my friend Alan Cannon, who supplied recordings of his theatrical performance, which I've interspersed throughout this episode because they really helped tell this story. I'm super grateful. Listen to the credits at the end for more about his performance. And a huge thank you to our friend Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, for letting us use his interview audio with Elon Musk, in which Elon lays out his beautiful design philosophy, totally inspired by Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I recommend making a cup of hot tea, English tea perhaps, as I have. Relax and enjoy the show.
Enjoy.
Welcome to the Consider the Cosmos podcast. I'm MaryLiz Bender.
And I'm Ryan Chylinski. We hope you enjoy this special episode that we have in store for you today. If you enjoy the show, give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and leave a review. It really helps the algorithms.
Anytime I'm looking to brighten my day or gain a sense of perspective, I always revisit these books, and I really hope that you enjoy coming on this journey with us. 42 years after its inception, many still consider the absurd humor of Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy to be among the greatest philosophical works available on our planet. That's me. I'm that person. What began as a BBC radio show turned into a highly successful book and BBC TV series before Hollywood had a go at it. And now Hulu is apparently preparing a series in 2021. Mm-hmm. Why are fans so obsessed with reviving this story? And what's with the number 42?
It's everywhere.
Let's take a moment to step back. As you know, I've always had a hunch that Elon Musk is a huge Hitchhiker's Guide fan. Mm-hmm. Yes. For the last few years, I've been collecting Easter eggs that he seems to leave behind. So obviously, I'm extremely excited to share this episode, which I hope does a great honor to this 42nd celebration.
Douglas Adams, best philosopher ever. Maybe, I think, best book in philosophy ever, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
That's Elon Musk praising this series in an interview with our friend Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut.
This book is so deep, people don't understand.
The story goes like this. The second greatest computer in the universe was constructed, given the name Deep Thought. Able to solve any calculation and answer nearly any question, the characters in the story decide to ask the obvious question.
Speak. Oh, deep thought computer. The task we have designed you to perform is this. We want you to tell us the answer.
The answer? The answer to what?
Life. The universe.
can do it.
There is an answer? A simple answer?
Yes, life, the universe, and everything. There is an answer. But I'll have to think about it. My circuits are now irrevocably committed to computing the answer to life, the universe, and everything. But the program will take me 7.5 million years to run.
7.5 million years?
Yes, I said I'd have to think about it, didn't I?
After waiting 7.5 million years, passing the question down from generation to generation, the humanoids appeared before deep thought to accept the grand answer they'd been waiting for.
75,000 generations ago, our generation set its program into motion. An awesome project. Deep thought prepares to speak.
Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, deep thought. Do you have
An answer for you? Yes, I have.
There really is one?
There really is one.
To everything. To the great question of life, the universe, and everything.
Yes,
And are you ready to give it to us?
I am.
Now?
Now.
Wow.
Though I don't think you're going to like it.
It doesn't matter. We must know it.
Now?
Yes, now.
All right.
Well,
You're really not going to like it.
tell us.
All right. The answer to everything,
Yes?
life, the universe, and everything,
Yes.
is
Yes!
42.
We're going to get lynched, you know that?
It was a tough assignment.
42?
I think the problem, such as it was too broadly based. You never actually stated what the question was.
It was the ultimate question, the question of life, the universe, and everything.
Exactly. Now you know that the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything is 42. All you need to do now is find what the ultimate question is.
All right. Can you please tell us the question?
The ultimate question
Yes?
of life, the universe,
And everything?
and everything,
Yes?
tricky.
But can you do it?
No.
Oh, God.
But I'll tell you who can.
Who? Tell us.
I speak of none but the computer that is to come after me. A computer whose merest operational parameters I am not worthy to calculate, and yet I will design it for you. A computer which can calculate the question to the ultimate answer. A computer of such infinite and subtle complexity that organic life itself will form part of its operational matrix. And you yourselves shall take on new forms and go down into the computer to navigate its 10 million year program. Yes, I shall design this computer for you, and I shall name it for you, and it shall be called the Earth.
Oh, what a dull name.
So there's a lot of time travel in this story, so we're going to jump forward, which is going backwards. One of the characters in the story, Arthur Dent, is one of the last remaining Earthlings in the universe. And in these scenes, he's just now learning that the Earth was formed for the purpose of churning out the ultimate question. His alien friend helped him hitchhike off of the Earth just before it was demolished to make way for an intergalactic superhighway bypass.
So, there you have it. Deep Thought designed it, we built it, and you lived on it.
And the Vogons came and destroyed it 5 minutes before the program is completed.
Yes, 10 million years of planning and work gone just like that. Well, that's bureaucracy for you.
After reading this book as a teenager, Elon was so inspired by its philosophy that he dedicated his life to expanding human knowledge, which in return required making a reality of science fiction.
I guess when I was in around 12 or 13, I had kind of an existential crisis, and I was reading various books. We happened to have like some books by Nietzsche and Schopenhauer in the house, which you should not read at age 14. It's bad. Then I read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which was like quite positive, I think, and it sort of highlighted an important point, which is that a lot of times the question is harder than the answer, and if you can properly phrase the question, then the answer is the easy part. And so, to the degree that we can better understand the universe, then we better know what questions to ask, and then whatever the question is that most approximates what's the meaning of life, that's the question we could ultimately get closer to understanding. And so I thought, well, to the degree that we can expand the scope and scale of consciousness and knowledge, then that would be a good thing.
Elon often talks of his mission to make real the sci-fi stories that inspired him as a youngster. Mm-hmm. And I think Starship is the perfect example. This massive SpaceX rocket will allow humanity to explore farther than ever before, and it is straight out of a science fiction book. This brings us back to that amazing interview with Tim Dodd, the everyday astronaut.
So this interview took place just after the Starship announcement in Boca Chica. SpaceX invited media to come down for the grand unveiling, and there was a quick presentation, a short Q&A, and then Tim had an amazing opportunity to one-on-one ask Elon questions in front of Starship in the background. So it's a beautiful scene. The silver stainless steel Starship is illuminated by spotlights. It's just Tim and Elon at night. It's just gorgeous.
And as you'll hear, Elon is just giddy. He never sounds like this, but he's giddy.
Yeah, first off, thank you so much for talking to me. I mean, we're underneath your beautiful beast.
Yeah, it's crazy. Can you believe this is even here?
During this interview, Tim probes Elon for answers regarding the Starship design process. And in his responses, Elon beautifully lays out the philosophical points from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which shaped the way he thinks through tough engineering and leadership challenges. So we took some of the practical lessons from that discussion and put together Elon Musk's Hitchhiker's Guide inspired design philosophy.
Let's go.
Your guide to the guide.
Number 1, question everything, including the question.
When you go through college, like studying physics and engineering, I studied physics, you have to answer the question that the professor gives you. Mm-hmm. You don't get to say, this is the wrong question.
Right. Yeah.
But in reality, we have far more degrees. When you're in reality, you have all the degrees of freedom of reality. And so the first thing you should say is, this question is wrong.
Outside of the school system, we forget that we have the freedom to ask any question we want to ask, right? So that's what he's saying. Don't forget that you can ask a different question, and you can even question the question that's being asked of you.
Number 2, take ages to form your question.
And that's what you said last year. Yeah. I mean, you kind of said, like, it took us a long time to frame the question, even.
Yes.
Because we didn't necessarily know what it was.
It took ages to frame the question.
Yeah.
It's just like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The hard part is the question. The answer is the easy part. You need a much more powerful computer to tell you what the question is.
Right.
And this is true. At the point at which you can properly frame the question, the answer is comparatively easy.
As Hitchhiker's Guide teaches us, if you're given access to the universe's most powerful supercomputer, a system that can answer any question you throw at it, don't waste its time with a question you haven't properly thought through. You won't understand the answer. The same goes for a beautiful human brain, might I add.
Number 3, question your constraints.
Question your constraints. It does not matter if the person handing you those constraints won a Nobel Prize. Even Einstein was wrong some of the time.
Right.
So question your constraints. This is extremely important. You should actually take the approach that the constraints that you are given are guaranteed to be some degree wrong. Guaranteed to be some degree wrong. Because the counterpoint would be that they are perfect.
Right, which is never.
You say, like, what's the probability that this is the Platonic ideal of the perfect part? Right. Zero. Okay.
Number 4, do not optimize a thing that should not exist.
One of the biggest traps for smart engineers is optimizing a thing that shouldn't exist.
Yeah. So they'll just sit there and spin on that thing that's just like, why do we even have this in the first place?
Absolutely.
We all find ourselves in the midst of a silly task. Why am I doing this? Often enters my brain. We are creatures of habit, and we're great at following orders, but sometimes we forget that orders come from creatures of habit. And sometimes habits must be broken in the name of efficiency and progress. SpaceX's extremely fast-paced innovation makes it clear that they're great at putting this lesson into practice.
One of the most fundamental errors made in advanced development is to stick to a design even when it is very complicated, and to not strive to delete parts and processes.
Right.
It's incredibly important. So this is why the switch to steel was because the advanced carbon fiber was taking too long.
Right. And you're definitely not a sunk cost fallaciest. You're
definitely not.
This is clearly the new path forward, let's hop on it.
Yeah, is it in the future or not? If it's not in the future, who cares?
Yeah, and you did that, I mean, look at last year, Dear Moon. You guys were kind of in that like awkward stage of probably figuring this out right here. You know, you had the carbon fiber mandrel.
I think we didn't even have the steel. I think we were still on the path. When was the Dear Moon thing?
Almost exactly a year ago.
That was before the change to steel.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, you showed the carbon mandrel and everything, and you're excited about that, but then all of a sudden we see you switch.
I canceled the carbon fiber design in October last year.
Yeah, so just after that.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand is that you're the lead engineer. You're literally
this is I was actually at dinner with a friend, and he was like, "Well, who's the chief engineer of SpaceX?" I was like, "It's me." No, it's like, it's not you. Who is it? Like, look, it's either someone with a very low ego, or I don't know, But that said, what I actually tell a team is like, everyone is a chief engineer. This is extremely important, and that everyone must understand how broadly speaking, all the systems in the vehicle work.
Right.
And so that you don't have subsystem optimization.
Number 5, the product errors reflect organizational errors.
The product errors reflect the organizational errors. Whatever departments you've got, that will be where your interfaces are.
Right.
And then instead of like getting rid of something or questioning the constraints, the one department will design to the constraints that the other department has given them without calling into question those constraints and saying those constraints are wrong.
To be a great leader, you have to understand the trickle-down effect of your organizational errors. They will flow all the way down the chain, injecting themselves right into your products and services. And that goes for any level of organization, all the way up to whole societies, as we see in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Starting on page 1, the book does a wonderful job poking fun at the absurdity of error-filled bureaucratic processes that trickle all the way down from a government body, forming persistent issues in the daily lives of its citizens. Have a read and you are sure to relate. Obviously, this sci-fi series, much like the rest of the sci-fi of the past, directly confronted issues of society, the ways in which humans utilize technology, artificial intelligence, philosophy, the meaning of life. And this is the role of art. Through the lens of the comic Douglas Adams, in this case, he uses alien beings to point out human issues, can zoom in on the absurd and make it more so. Poking fun at our flaws, he brings them into a new light for us. But as we also know, the role of art and sci-fi is not merely reserved for these reflections. It's also vital for imagining and thus designing our future. I hope you enjoyed going on this journey with us today. It was really nice for us.
Chance to pause. Yeah, it was fun. We'd love to hear your comments and ideas. You can head to the website, cosmicperspective.com/podcast. And there you can actually leave a voice memo. It would be a lot of fun to include in future episodes.
Yes, at the top of this episode, you heard from Matt Kaplan, host of Planetary Radio. That beautiful human taught me almost everything I know about podcasting. He's a mentor, a dear friend, and a truly inspiring person. From the Space Coast to California, Matt, we love you.
Thanks, Matt. Hope to see you soon. If you enjoyed the episode, leave 5 stars on Apple Podcasts.
Appease the algorithms for us.
And we'd love to have your support on Patreon. Thank you.
The theatrical performances featured throughout this episode were done by AOUS, Actors of Unusual Size, in Louisville, Kentucky. The cast was Romana Baroneth, Alan Cannon, Dana Hope, Brent Rose, Christopher Smith, and Bob Waters. The production directed by Dana Hope. Thank you all so much for adding so much to this episode. If you want to watch that full interview that Tim Dodd did with Elon Musk in front of Starship, head to our website, cosmicperspective.com/guide, and you can watch the entire video.
Mm-hmm.
You'll also access there other ways for you to celebrate this momentous occasion. You can watch the original BBC TV series, the movie, or access the books from our page.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to try something unique. We're going to share a song at the end of each of our episodes. And this time it's a song that's really personal and special to me. I wrote the song Trees with my band Twin Limb, and it's kind of an ode to the simulation, if you will. Every time I think about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I think about this song. And every time I think about this song, I think about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So I thought, no better song to play out. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy.
Psychic connection all over. It's nice to find your